You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
What we got here is a failure to communicate.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
You know what I mean?
Money to be made in a place like this.
Money never sleeps, pal.
You're crazy. Don't run when you lose. Don't whine when it hurts.
You know what it takes to sell real estate?
It takes brass.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
All right, welcome to another episode of Money Never Sleeps. This is the show where we talk about anything and everything that impacts the flow of money from around the corner to around the world. And there are a lot of things going on. You have people that are looking at the day-to-day market. The Dow going up, down, sideways, flatlining, soaring, whatever the case may be. That's all well and good if you're trading. It's good to be on top of what's happening. If you're involved in options trading, you have to be on top of it. And just on the topic of options trading, if you're doing that, just make sure you're well informed. Don't jump into hype, and you can get burnt pretty easily in the options arena. I do suggest checking out Market Rebels and finding out more about what they're doing. You have Pete and John Nigerian. They are the kings, the kings of all options, I call them. If you want to learn, these are the guys you learn from. You can always catch them on on the Market Rebels website, or you can catch them on CNBC Halftime Report and Fast Money. But I do advise checking them out. They have a plethora of insight to give you that'll help you if you are trading. And even if you're investing, the insight that they have from their experience and what they've done and what they've seen, not just in options trading, across the board, across the gambit of industries, a gambit of time over the decades, what they've learned and what they bring to viewers and listeners. So I would check that out. Okay, now I want to move on. Something interesting transpired. I found interesting either. Myself, look, the media, whether you are a company or celebrity or whatever the case may be, the media is what helps to get your message out. The media is what will get, let's say, a movie, will get you the reviews and get you out there in front of people. Them putting you on the cover of a magazine or inside of a magazine or even on the website talking about it, brings it to the public. And this stuff is it's important. It's important. And if you're running for office as a politician, again, you need the media to reach the people. Without the media, you can't reach the people. And something, again, as I said earlier, was interesting to me is that Penske Media, they own Variety. They just inked a deal to acquire Billboard, Vibe, and the Hollywood Reporter. And that is a big thing, because now you're talking about bringing together a wide variety of Hollywood and music-based publications or online presence and media outlets. It's interesting because you have all these under one roof. All of these under one roof. Okay, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. Control. Okay, dominating an arena. Granted, you have other magazines and websites that go and promote entertainment. They talk about entertainment, but when you're talking about powerhouses, Variety is a powerhouse, the Hollywood Reporter a powerhouse, Vibe a powerhouse, Billboard a powerhouse. So I wonder how this is all going to work out for the better of more people, more of the entertainment industry. I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting acquisition and how it occurred with no ripples in the water. You have technology companies. One looks to acquire another, and so on and so forth. You have to go through a song and dance to get it done. Because a lot of things need to be looked into. I think a lot of things in the media need to be looked into too. When you have companies merging, they've done it with the Murdochs. They've done it with other companies. I'm just saying, just take a look at stuff a little deeper before, even on a private level, you have private companies doing this. Doesn't matter, take a look at it and make sure that it's not going to potentially, provide some, I guess, a violation of sorts, or cornering a market, or just too much control. Competition. That's what America is built on, competition. The days of Rockefeller, cornering a market and oil with Standard Oil, that came to an end. So, the officials, our great officials, they go and they make sure that stuff like this isn't just allowed to happen. All right, now moving beyond that, beyond meat. Okay, I want to talk about these companies. This is important. This is important. Over the past few years, we've seen an emergence of alternative meats, plant-based meats, plant-based, eating, and just it's been incredible. They say that the alternative meat market could, or is on pace to hit between 6.5 and 7 billion. Okay, and by 2023. All right, that's pretty big. You have, and again, I don't know if those numbers are 100% accurate. And I'm talking about revenue. I'm not talking about valuations. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about, sales. What are you selling and how's it coming in, and is the revenue to the company? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You have a few companies that are dominant in the space. Like Beyond Meat and the Impossible. They are the biggest in that realm. But you have Morningstar Farms. They're pretty big. Okay, you have corn out of the UK. They've been doing it since '85. Legacy Meat also. I think that we're going to have more of this because people are looking for a healthier lifestyle. Okay, meat. Look, it's not going anywhere anytime soon, but it's a good start to have an alternative to meat, and I mean a good alternative. Not, I've tasted things that tasted horrible. Okay, I've tasted things that tasted good. When Burger King had the Impossible Whopper, I was one of the first to taste it. And I said, all right, this is good. It's an alternative to a regular Whopper, and I would eat it. Okay, same way I went to Dunkin' Donuts and I tried their, and I think it was the Impossible Sausage or Beyond Sausage or whoever supplies them. I tasted that and I did not like it. Okay, it tasted horrible. But then again, it's all dependent on what you're used to. If you have it in your mind that a meat alternative is going to taste exactly like meat in every way, shape, and form, then you'll be disappointed. But it's about it tasting good. It tasting good. So them creating this the meat alternatives to make it more appealing to the masses, I get it, and I'm with it. And I do, enjoy a plant-based deal on my end, so I'm not against that. I'm pro alternatives, I'm pro plant-based. I think that it's good, and then plus, you're talking about, all right, you're talking about the environmental impact, okay, that happens from livestock. Look, when you're going and you're farming, and there's so many reports out there, you don't need to hear it from me. I'm not an expert in it, but I'll tell you what I think. Livestock, they consume an enormous amount of water. You have, look at the fires that are happening in LA, San Francisco, and the Amazon, so on and so forth. There's something going on, okay? All right, now, am I saying that it has to do with livestock? No. What I'm saying is that there's a lack of balance in the world. There's a lack of balance. And livestock, when you have livestock consuming so much water, and they're aiding to the environmental impact with greenhouse gases. Okay, greenhouse gases. This is what will destroy us, period, the end. All right? And 30 to 40% of those greenhouse gases come from livestock. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. There's something wrong. So we need alternatives. Okay, as I said, the meat industry isn't going anywhere. They're going to be around because people enjoy it. But you have some other companies that are going and restaurants and stuff, and they're embracing it as an alternative, where they're even having plant-based barbecue, where they have the meat that looks like meat, and they barbecue it and so on and so forth, and people are enjoying it. The meat industry, as I said, it's a $350 billion industry in that range. Okay, and in the next few years, they're talking about it hitting $1 trillion. I mean, is that going to happen? I don't know. I don't think it's going to slow down. People enjoy it, but you also have to look at the health aspect of it as well. Okay, and what it's doing for you and what it's not. At the end of the day, you want to look at this scientifically. Okay, when you're looking at meat and what the body is absorbing from it, it's absorbing four things. Okay? Amino acids, lipids, all right, trace minerals, and lots of water. So if this is why meat alternatives, they got the formula and they created some magic, and they made the meatless meat tastes good. Okay, and if it's tasting good, it's it's fine. And if it's good for you, that's better, isn't it? So you have to look at all of that stuff, and it becomes interesting. All right, so now Microsoft. This I find less interesting, more like what is the media doing? Okay, Microsoft. They have their teams. Microsoft, I love the company and the transition and the growth and everything else. They have their Microsoft teams and the stay-at-home environment. It's been thriving. But then so has Zoom, and so has Slack, and so has other companies. Amazon has been... Again, I remember AWS when it first came out, and I was dealing with them, and I liked what they did. The customer service and everything was great. Amazon, and with their AWS, they have advanced tremendously. It's a big revenue generator for them. That's what allows Amazon to do all the other things it is doing. And they incorporated some AI platforms. Their platforms, their engines, they have the most advanced technology there, and it's allowing companies to go in there and not have this technology. Go there, use the technology to go create something and create a platform. The issue with that is that you're on the backbone of somebody else's technology. So really, how innovative are you? I understand that if a company wants to do that for themselves, but as far as creating a company on the backbone of that, I don't know. Microsoft, just going back to that, Microsoft, with their teams, they made an announcement that they are going to have they're going to have AI and certain other components like Amazon has with their AWS, that they're going to have that and they're going to offer it to their clients. Okay, that's going to give AWS a little competition, but Microsoft, they have Azure, they have their own cloud-based situation as it is. So how much competition is going to be there? I don't think it's going to be any more competition than what they have now in that arena. So I don't believe the hype when it comes to that. And also, Microsoft Teams, it's great how they do it. The problem that I've always had with Microsoft is that they force you to do things. I don't like being forced to do things. Okay, if I buy your product, don't force me to go have Skype. Don't force me to have Outlook. Don't force me to do things I don't want to do. But still, they force you, because if you don't do it, guess what? You will not be able to use the product. Ain't that something? Okay, so that's what happens there. So they're forcing you to to go into their ecosystem. Apple, different story. It's voluntary. You voluntarily go in there knowing that you cannot use anything outside of Apple for Apple. Even though Apple made a deal with Google for the social distancing thing, but the COVID thing. The bottom line is that forcing someone to do a thing because that's what you want, it's not cool. You hear that, Microsoft? It's not cool. You shouldn't do stuff like that, but they do it anyway. Anyway, the situation with Teams is that they're enhancing it. They're starting to integrate with video and chat systems so that you can communicate within your teams and everything a little easier. And this is going to weigh on companies like Slack. It's going to weigh on companies like Zoom. And then the reason being, and it's going to bring competition to Facebook in a different way, okay? But, the reason being is that now you're offering users a one-stop shop for a lot of things. The thing, and I talked about it earlier with Penske Media, the thing that comes up is competition, as huge companies. Amazon, Microsoft, these big players, Salesforce, as they're going and doing this, okay, and they're creating things within their ecosystem, they could essentially be shutting out innovation that would be coming from a smaller company or an entrepreneur, okay, and that is where I see the sad part of things because, beyond America, just in technology itself, it's about doing and building and growing and adding something to the world. Thomas Edison, if he was able to stifle Tesla, we wouldn't have the electricity we have today. Same way if Thomas Edison, gave up, we wouldn't have light bulbs. We wouldn't have a lot of things. We wouldn't have the radio, TV, moving pictures, as they call it, but yes, films and movies and Hollywood. So I think that competition is healthy. I think competition, it should be should be embraced. I don't think that the big companies should have the ability to stifle out competition. Look, when Facebook, and this is the big thing with Facebook, they went and they acquired Instagram. People thought they were crazy spending $1 billion for the company. I thought they were a little crazy, but they're not so crazy now. But at the same time, when they went and they acquired the company, they stifled competition and they put it into their ecosystem. And this is where it gets interesting. I think the next couple of years we're going to have a lot of interesting things happening in technology, as far as big companies, probably getting additional pressure from the government. Do I think that a Facebook or a Microsoft or an Amazon or a Google, for that matter, that they're doing anything wrong? Well, they're doing business. However, I do say that you have to go and allow for competition. You gotta let the smaller guys come in and build and grow. This is how you got the Slack and the Zooms and all these other companies. But they're predicting that Microsoft is going to snatch a lot of they're gonna snatch a lot of the business that's there that Slack could be getting or Slack has now. So it's gonna be interesting. Okay, Megahoot is a company that is diversified, is multifaceted. It's involved in different areas: artificial intelligence. It's involved in private collaboration platforms that are secure. It's involved in augmented reality, involved in facial recognition, involved in different areas that gives it various revenue streams. The one of the arms of Megahoot is Hive, and that's a private collaboration platform. You can go on there. You can have video conferences. You can have, and I know it's coming, that you can have you can broadcast a show, if you're say a politician or something, or you are speaking to a large number of people, you can broadcast a show. Now, does YouTube and other platforms do this? Sure, they have that as well. The thing is with Hive is that for companies, all of this stuff can be white labeled for them. That's the big difference. Okay, and there are a lot of other things that are coming along with it, and the beauty of it, it's cost effective. Basically, it'll be cheaper than what you're paying now for other things, and you'll have more control of your situation. So, a lot of good things are coming from Megahoot. Great teams there, making things work. There are a couple of applications right now that the public could enjoy, and that's the Hive app itself, where you can have video conferences and share documents and share screens and have a whiteboard where you can actually go and share your thoughts on the whiteboard, and a number of things are coming with that. And then Hive has the social distance monitor. Now that's interesting, and I need to say it's free for any small business. Period. The end. Where a small business can go and utilize Hive, the social distance monitor, and it works with their IP system, their IP camera system. So basically, it gets inserted in there. It's an application they download for free, and it gets inserted in there, and they can utilize it so they can prove that they are in compliance with social distancing guidelines. You have a lot of small businesses in the United States that are getting fined. They're open, they're getting fined saying they're not complying. Okay, Hive, the social distance monitor, what it does, it has social distance. It shows you where if you're 6 feet apart, you're safe. As you get closer, it warns you, and then if you're in the danger zone, it lets you know there's danger. Whoever is monitoring the cameras, they know. So you don't have to have someone measuring, saying, "Oh my God, you're too close." No, let the cameras do the work. Let technology do the work. Mask detection. You'll detect if someone's wearing a mask or not. Okay, and then you have a people count. You count how many people are coming in, so you can keep track of stuff if you can only be at X capacity, that you can keep track of who's inside. Okay, and these are standard. This is standard for the social distance monitor, and I need to say it again. It is free for any business, any small business to utilize. And even a big business if they want to utilize it. It was developed for the better of people, the better of the world. So it's an application that can be used by anyone that can find a need or a use for it to help them with their business. Okay, so you can find out more on VeroHive.com. You can find out more about Secure on SecureHive.com. And, of course, you can find out more about Megahoot at Megahoot.com. And, on Money Never Sleeps, we're bringing more to the table in the coming days and weeks. We are looking to, have some guests on to talk about different, areas of anything. But a lot of times you'll hear me. So if you enjoy hearing me, tune in. And I need to say it, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you listening, and thank you. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for being around for the past decade as the show has been around. And I'm going to be back with you next time, and we're going to pick some other things to talk about. Of course, it's going to be based on what's happening, but also I'm going to throw some things at you that will make you think. All right, until next time, you guys have an awesome trading day and an awesome rest of the week, and I'll be back with you on the next episode of Money Never Sleeps Radio.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
What is your major malfunction?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.
All opinions expressed by Luis Velazquez on the Money Never Sleeps radio show and its website are solely his opinions and do not reflect the opinions of the UCW radio show or their parent company or affiliates, and may have been previously disseminated by him on television, radio, internet, or another medium. You should not treat any opinion expressed by him as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of his opinion. His opinions are based upon information he considers to be reliable, but neither the UCW radio show nor its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries warrant its completeness or accuracy, and it should not be relied upon as such. The UCW radio show, Luis Velazquez, its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries are not under any obligation to update or correct any information provided on the radio show or on the website. His statements and opinions are subject to change without notice. No part of his compensation from the UCW radio show is related to the specific opinions he expresses. Please read the full disclaimer on MoneyNeverSleepsRadio.com.